Hi, it's Thermal Imploder, and today we are back to Battlefront 1, aka Battlefront, because its official name is Battlefront. No, not Battlefront 1, but that's not the video today. Today we are talking about blasters and star cards that I think personally should come to Battlefront 2. So we're going to start off with blasters, and then do star cards, and then skins. So here we go. Now, first off, before I get started with the blasters, I'm going to name all the blasters that are already in the game for infantry. Now, I'm not saying these should be in the game for heroes and stuff. I'm saying this should come as infantry and normal soldier stuff. So DH-17 is already in the game. HU-80C is already in the game. RT-97C is already in the game. Of course, the E11 is in the game. Now, yes, the CA-87 is in the game, but it is a bit burst fire, so I'm not counting it today. Now, then we also have the EE3, but that is Boba Fett, same with DL-44, and the Relby X8 Night Sniper, and the EE4 is also in the game as a star card. We also have the TL-50 Heavy Repeater. Now, that is it of the ones that are already in the game. So, now, oh wait, and also, forgot to say, sorry, the DLT-19, I think, is also in the game. I'm not 100% sure, though. So, now, here we go. So, the first blaster I'm going to start with is the CA-87. Now, in the Star Wars Battlefront 2, it's more of an air fire, and in this one, it was more like a big air fire, but with a bullet. Now, I personally feel like new game, you can't really get a kill with it as easily, and you have to be a lot closer to use it. I personally liked it a lot better in this game, as it was the perfect thing that when you ever were in a close quarters map and just needed to get a quick instant kill. So I definitely feel like the CA-87 would be a good blaster to bring back, but not as really. Maybe just change the star card or make it a normal blaster. Also, the CE-14C was, of course, loved when it came into the game, and it is probably still going to be loved if it comes back. I personally feel like it was really good, even though after it got nerfed, I still was using it, and I definitely feel like it is a blaster that is worth using and should come back. Now, the T-21B isn't really a very fan favorite of a blaster, in my opinion. I personally think it is a good blaster that they could still add, but really, I don't see too many people that really like or want to use it. So I personally feel like, yes, I would personally like it back, but I don't think the community would like it that much. So now on to the next one, the EE3. Now, yes, this is Boba Fett's blaster, and it is technically in the game but as Boba Fett's not normal infantry, and I feel like everybody used it so much, and it was so good, and it was perfect. I definitely feel like it would be great to bring it back. Now, the next one is the T-21B, my personal favorite sniping rifle. So, I personally feel like if people want to snipe with a little bit of differently, I definitely feel like they should bring the T-21B back, because I loved it. Oh, and this was the only sniper rifle I would really use very often. Sometimes I would use the Relby though, but not too often. Now the next one I'm going to talk about is the DL-18. I personally really like this blaster and would like it to come back, but the community didn't seem to want to use it that often or very much, so I don't know. This one is mixed, and I personally feel like it should, but I don't see people using it very often, and this Star Wars Battlefront that I'm on right now, aka Star Wars Battlefront 1, so I personally don't feel like it would be that great to bring it back. Now, the DL-44 is, of course, a big fan favorite because it was Han Solo's blaster, and, well, it was really OP when it first came out, when you got it as the deluxe edition blaster pistol. And I definitely feel like, personally, if they brought this back, it would still be the same and everybody would be using it. Now, with that in mind, everybody using one blaster wouldn't be that great. I personally feel like maybe if it became a really hard to unlock blaster, and maybe if it was nerfed in some way, that would be very good. But I definitely feel like it should come back. Now, the next thing is the Relby V10. I personally loved it. Yes, it's in the game with Bosk, but they changed it. And if it came back as it is in this game and put it in, I definitely feel like as an infantry blaster, that would be really good. Now, we're going to leave the DLT-19X for the last blaster that we do. So now onto the DT-12. So, first off, the DT-12 is probably one of my favorite blasters. Now, yes, it's small and stuff, but it's very well known for being Greedo's blaster in A New Hope, and I personally would love to have it come back, and of course would use it a ton. So I personally feel like it should come back, but the community doesn't really seem to agree, because I don't see very many people ever using it. I don't know. So now next up, we are going to go to the EE4. Now, yes, the EE4 is in as a star card, and though, yes, it's a star card, I personally feel like it should come in as a normal blaster, just my opinion. Now, we already have the TL50 heavy repeater, but do we have the K16 Briar pistol? No, we don't. But the K16 Briar pistol, well, yes, it was a big fan favorite in this Battlefront for being the big hero killer and hero hunt and Heroes or Stones. Now, if they did bring back hero hunt, definitely they would definitely just use this blaster a ton because of how strong it is against heroes. So definitely, I feel like this blaster is something that could come for sure. Now, next up, the DT-29. Now, this blaster is very unused in my opinion. Yes, it is famous as Krennic's blaster, but I personally don't see it getting used too often, mainly because it technically is a revolver. But yeah, I still personally feel like it's not that popular, and that this is one of the blasters that I feel like really just doesn't need to come back at all. So yeah, now next up we're going to go to the CJ9 bow rifle. So the bow rifle is of course a big favorite for Melanie. Now I definitely feel like this could come back just as it was in the last game. And it would be great. I personally feel like this one would be liked a lot. Now, onto the A180. Now, this one is famous as Jin's blaster in Rogue One. So, this one would definitely be very well and a good blaster to use, simply because of its add-ons. And I personally feel like it would be great because it would be a blaster you could use. And I feel like this one could be one that could be used in all the classes. And that would be really great, because technically it has rifle mode, pistol mode, as it is right here, sniper mode, and of course it has its secondary fire. So I personally feel like this is not that big of a blaster personally as used in this game, but I feel like if it came into Battlefront 2, it would become a lot more popular. So now we're going to do the X8 Night Sniper. So this one is a lot different than other blasters, and it was very unique and used mostly only because it had night vision. But we do have night vision on some other blasters now as an add-on in the game. So yes, this is used with Lando and stuff, but I personally now feel like it would be pretty great if we added it back. But it also would be a little bit useless because we already have its main feature of night vision. So we'd probably get it with night vision, of course, as an add-on, and its normal fire. So now put hashtag Night Sniper in the comments if you want it to come back. I personally feel like it isn't needed, but would be a cool thing to have back. Now, as you've long waited for, the DLT-19X. So the DLT-19X is, of course, a very well-known and popular sniper rifle. So it was a headshot kill me, but yes, it was okay, of course, and good if you knew how to use it. I personally feel like it is basically in the game, of course, but as a completely different version. Now, if they brought it back in the way it was in this game, as one shot, headshot, kill, I personally feel like that'd be a lot better. Yes, it is in the game, but differently than it was in this. So, I personally feel like this should come back as it was in this game. So, now, the next thing that I want to talk about now is star cards. So, star cards will take a while now, of course, because it is longer. But still, I'm going to go through. So, the first thing I want to say is the thermal detonator, we of course already have. Scout pistol, we already have. The ion torpedo, we already have. Now, we do not have cooling cell. I personally feel like if they brought this one back, it would be a lot different and used more than it was in this game. Impact grenade, we already have. But the pulse cannon, well, we technically don't have, but it is used as Iden's star card, so it could be used, of course, as an infantry star card. I personally would love that, because if you don't know and are a newer subscriber and weren't subscribed to me back when I did Battlefront 1 and before Battlefront 2, well, this is probably one of my favorite star cards, and it is really good. So I would love to bring the pulse cannon back. Now we have, of course, ion shot. Yes, we already have this basically, so we can move on to focus fire. Now this one would be okay, but it is a little bit useless, if you know what I'm saying. But if it may be okay for somebody that's new, maybe not. I personally don't know, but maybe not. So then we have the iron grenade. Now this one, of course, is already in the game, but not exactly as it was in this one. So I feel like if it came back in this way, it would be good too. I don't know, and I don't really care about the iron grenade personally, because I never really used it, honestly, very much. And by not very much, I mean probably only 3 times, literally ever. So now, on to the homing shot. Now, the homing shot, of course, is in the game as a star card, so we can move on to the jump pack. Now, we technically already have it and stuff, but I get why it is called only for the jump trooper, because they technically don't want people going and jumping around the whole entire map, of course, like mad. But I feel like it would be cool, of course, to add that back in as a star card, but maybe not in this Battlefront, because this Battlefront is a little bit more of a more ground-based Battlefront. So I personally kind of like that and feel like the jump pack could just come back in Battlefront 3 maybe. And yeah, so I feel like this is something that we could just skip. Scan pools, we already have. Now we are moving on to traits. And first off, we have Bodyguard. Now, the whole entire trait system technically isn't even in here. But they could add all three of these actually. And I feel like it would be very well used and very cool. Along with adding the Sharpshooter. But now, the Berserker, though, was used so much, I feel like they should just leave it out. And same with the Escape Artist. And the Bounty Hunter, though, could come in. And because I feel like these two are used so much. And basically, in this game, I feel like they're trying to make it so certain things aren't super powerful and is what everybody uses. So now, onto the Smoke Grenade. Well, we already have it, basically. But not really, because it is one of Lando's abilities, but I don't think it is a start card. I think it might be, though. Actually, yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure for the officer, but I feel like if they added it and for others too, that would be pretty cool too, because it really makes it seem a lot more Star Wars-y with smoke going off everywhere, in my opinion. Explosive Shot. Well, we have it, basically. And I know why they added it as Explosive Sentry instead of Explosive Shot. Because, well, it was kind of OP in this game. And everybody would just dominate and kill all the heroes if they added it. Now, of course, Flash Grenade is already here. But differently than it was in this one. I personally feel like the one in this one would be a lot better. But whatever. Now, onto Sharpshooter. Now, the Sharpshooter, of course, is also a trait. So, and I already said, it goes just with all the other traits, I feel like. Now, Barrage, already in the game, along with Personal Shield. Now, Bounty Hunter is, of course, a trait, but was used quite a bit, but I still feel like it could come in and just be nerfed a slight bit, so it is not as commonly used. Now, Cycler Rifle. Well, I feel like if they added this back, that would be really cool, but I feel like if they made it so you had 3 shots instead of just the one, in my opinion, and make it so in 1 headshot, yes, is a kill, but 2 chest shots is also a kill, in my opinion. That would be perfect to bring it back. Now, the Bowcaster, I can see, is kind of already back as the Wookiee Warriors thing. So I feel like, yes, it technically isn't as a normal soldier, but it kind of is, and so I'm just going to skip it and say it technically is because the Wookiee Warrior uses it. Now, Escape Artist and Berserker, I already said. Now, Stinger Pistol, already in the game. Now, I'm going to skip something on Player and come back to that. Now, Adrenaline Stim, I personally feel like would be amazing to come back and would be one of the better star cards and more commonly used, of course. Now, I personally love it and feel like it would be great to bring back. Now, Disruption. Well, Disruption is basically already in the game, but not as much as it was in this game, in my opinion. I feel like they just need to buff it in the game. So now we are on to Laser Trip Mine. Already have it. Medical Droid. Well, we already have it. I personally feel like how it was in this game, it would be a lot better. Or actually, do we have it? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting a little bit now. I don't know. If we don't have it, they should definitely add it. I'm very sorry about that. Now, scout binoculars, well, they weren't really used that much, in my opinion. And I feel like these are just something that could just simply go away, and we don't really need very much, really. Now, yes, it would be good, of course, but I personally feel like it is fine to not have. So now we have the Dioxis Grenade. Now, the Dioxis Grenade is, of course, one of Bosk's main abilities, and, well, it is, of course, great, and I feel like it should come back, of course, as a star card used by infantry. Now then, if we move to the Scattergun, we already have it, but it's called something different now. It's called Slug Vanguard, so they just changed the name, basically. Now onto the Shock Grenade, we already have it. Now the Ion Neutralizer, I feel like, personally, isn't really that big of something that we would need, just based off of the game modes we have. Now, if they added more game modes that it would be a lot better with, and you need to damage the vehicles a lot more, because yes, it is something for that is used in Galactic Assault, in the game mode, on Feed, and on Hoth, also Kashyyyk. So yes, it is kind of already in the game, but not as a star card, and I personally feel like it doesn't need to come back as a star card. Now we're going to go back up now to the Sonic Imploder. Now, I personally didn't want to do this one immediately because it had the word, of course, Imploder. My channel, Thermal Imploder, well, it's kind of obvious. So the Sonic Imploder, of course, is, well, like the Thermal Imploder, but it blinds people, and I personally feel like this would be great to come back, but I feel like this would be a better star card for something you need, another thing, such as a star card for, say, the Wookiee Warrior, or the Jump Trooper, in my opinion, at least. Now, of course, everybody wants this back, the classic old Back-to-Bomb. Now, I love it. I feel like if it came back, though, just nerfed a ton, I personally feel like it would be great, and yeah, I feel like the Back-to-Bomb should come back. So, now, of course, we do have one more thing to get onto, but I'm going to leave it, actually, for another video, because this video has been kind of long, and I'll do skins in tomorrow's video, or maybe the day after that. I'm not exactly sure, because I make usually several videos a day, or try to, or not, on the weekends. So, I don't know. Maybe it'll be uploaded tomorrow, maybe not. But that will be coming out in another video. But yeah, so thanks for watching this video. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below what you think about this. Do you agree with what I said, or do you disagree? And I will be seeing you tomorrow.